Pokemon FireRed, created in 2004 for the Game Boy Advance. I wanted to do a Damageless run of every main series Pokemon game, and considering I've never actually beat Generation 3's Kanto remakes, I thought this would be a great place to start. So strap yourselves in and prepare for a wild ride of highs and lows. Welcome to Can You Beat Pokemon FireRed Without Ever Taking Damage? I named myself Amloff and the rival Datho, shout out Stoneblock, and promptly decided to try and escape my tiny town of 10 residents. The local professor, some bloke with a type of tree for a name, told me off and directed me into his lab where he'd already managed to kidnap Datho. He told us to pick a starter, and so I picked a Charmander. Now if you've ever played a Kanto game, you'll know that Charmander is the hardest starter to pick, but in this case we actually have to pick it. If we pick Bulbasaur or Squirtle, Datho's Pokemon has to use Growl 6 times in a row, then miss 5 tackles, which have a 95% hit rate. That's an extremely low chance. That ain't happening. Charmander, however, is facing Squirtle, which knows Tail Whip instead of Growl, so it's lowering my defense instead of my attack. Which means that even with the worst luck in the world, it's a 0.78% chance. Much better odds. We luck out and get a no damage rival battle after only 18 resets. And we're off! I managed to trek my way through Route 1 and make it to Vermilion City, where I'm promptly kicked out of town and told don't come back until you've delivered this package to Oak. Oak is rather confused, excited that I've brought him his package, so he decides to teleport Datho to the lab as well and give us both Pokedexes. Then he kicks us out of the lab and says, don't come back until you're either the champion or you've completed the dex. What is everyone's problem? I don't get it. I go next door and say hi to Datho's sister, then proceed to finally begin my journey. I make it back to Vermilion City, and this time I'm only stopped by some old bloke who decides I'm a noob at Pokemon and need to be shown how to catch them. With all that behind us, I can finally speedrun through Route 2 and walk into the spooky Vermilion Forest. So originally for these Damageless runs, I was going to be fighting every trainer in the game, but I realised that was unreasonable and just fought everyone I had to. The only unavoidable trainer in the forest is Bugcatcher Sammy, who has a level 9 Weedle. Usually this wouldn't be a problem, but this time I have to grind my Charmander up to level 14 against Metapods and Kakoonas, which have a 15% chance to spawn until Charmander can OHKO Weedles and Caterpies as well. The strat in this challenge is to OHKO, one hit knockout, everything we fight. If I don't, then there's a chance I lose and have to reset. Reaching level 14, Charmander makes quick work of the Weedle with Ember. Also, the official rules for this challenge are as follow. Number 1. I mustn't ever take damage, no matter what, or I reset to the previous save. Number 2. I can only save after successfully defeating a gym leader. Number 3. For grinding reasons, I'm allowed to speed up the game. And just to make it that little bit harder, Number 4. No held items allowed. Ever. Finally being able to escape the cool undergrowth of Viridian Forest, I am able to push forward to the next town and first gym, Pewter City, home of the rock gym leader, Brock. Brock is the first major hurdle in this challenge. Because Charmander is weak to both his Geodude and Onix, I've got a lot more grinding to do. Charmander has to evolve, grow to level 34, and learn Flamethrower. The best place for me to grind is to retreat back into the forest and burn the bugs to a crisp. The maximum level of Pokemon in the forest is 6. I get the feeling I'm going to be here for a while. In a rather anticlimactic battle, both the Geodude and Onix go down to a single Flamethrower. I've beaten the first gym and got the Boulder Badge, and it only took 14 hours and 47 minutes. Which is all real time by the way, as I hadn't figured out how to use speed up yet. Knowing that I'd just made a save point, I decided to catch some Pokemon. First a Pidgey on Route 2 named Susan, and then a Pikachu in Viridian Forest named Willy. Both Pokemon's uses will become evident in the near future. Due to its 5% spawn rate and some incredible bad luck, it genuinely took me about 40 minutes to find a Pikachu. And then when I did, it only had a 50% catch rate, but thankfully I got it on the first go. At the most northern point of Route 4 is Mount Moon, the second hurdle of this challenge. All of the trainers on the first floor are avoidable, and so are 3 on B2F. The first trainer on B2F has a level 13 Rattata, which knows Quick Attack. Huh. Good thing I got Susan then, hey. After officially crowning Susan as the priority mood slave, I set to work on leveling her up. To start, I had to fight Kakoonas and Metapods again until she was strong enough to OHKO the level 10 Parises which inhabit B1F of Mount Moon. Eventually, Susan evolved twice and grew to level 36, all to take down a level 13 rat. I decide to do some quick power training on Willy and raise him to the precise level of 31 before heading down to the depths of B2F. Both required trainers were no trouble for my vastly overleveled mons. I stole a fossil from a mega nerd and then sprinted away before he noticed. After spending hours in the dim lighting of Mount Moon, I exited and was nearly blinded. Swiftly moving east, I eventually ran into Celadon City, home of the water gym and its leader, Misty. Both her Staryu and Starmie stood no chance against my Willy's Thunderbolts. Claiming the Cascade Badge and Water Pulse, I made my second save point, 49 hours and 35 minutes, although I had learned how to use speed. Next up is Nugget Bridge. Starting with my second fight against Datho, there are another 6 unavoidable battles before Route 25. Datho has seriously grinded up till this point, but he's still no match for a master trainer such as myself. His Pidgeotto and Rattata no quick attack, but because my pokes are so overleveled, it's a super easy battle. The rest of the trainers offer little to no resistance and ultimately should have just let me walk by. Getting to the end of the bridge with no fuss, I dart into the long grass on the western bank and catch an oddish named Alice. With a 50% catch rate, my heart is beating a little faster than usual, knowing that I may have to fight all those trainers again. But thankfully again, I catch her first go. Moving easterly onto Route 25, once again no resistance is shown as I breeze through any trainer who dares approach me. At the far eastern cape, I meet Bill, a furry who has fused himself with the Clefairy. I abandon him and steal his ticket to a luxury cruise liner in Vermilion. Past Route 6 is Vermilion City, home to the electric gym and its leader, Lieutenant Surge. I wander around town, grabbing the bike voucher and an old rod. Unfortunately, I can't battle the gym yet, so I head onto the pier and use my stolen cruise ticket to board the SS Anne. I run along onto the Anne and rudely barge into some bloke's room to steal his move, then proceed to go upstairs to the captain's quarters. Datho is waiting for me at the door, says I smell bad, then battles me like the nerd he is. His team is barely stronger than last time, so it's a rather easy sweep again. He waddles away, and I let myself into the captain's quarters, smack him on the back a few times, then take his HM for cut. I promptly teach cut to Alice, and that's about as much use as she'll ever get. I waltz off the ship, and with my new HM, I can now challenge the gym. Except first I need to level up Susan to level 45, because Surge's ace knows quick attack. Surge's Voltorb and Pikachu are light work, but his Raichu is the one I needed to train for. But he's also light work in the end. Surge gives me the Thunder Badge, and I now make the third save point after 55 hours and 11 minutes. Nice. Now we have Rock Tunnel. You'll notice that my ugly mug is now on the screen, and that's because this section and a couple others were streamed live on Twitch. Come say hi at twitch.tv/amlof1. Anyways, Rock Tunnel is a hell of a lot harder than it should be because I have neglected to find and use flash, so the entirety of the tunnel is almost pitch black. After looking at this map, I was able to work out a route to follow and even managed to avoid 6 of the 15 trainers after looking at the map for nearly 10 minutes. The only real problem, however, is Hiker Dudley, who has a level 21 Graveler, which means I have to level up Charizard to 39. Not that bad overall. After leaving Rock Tunnel, Celadon City is up next, home of the Grass Gym and its leader, Erica. First I head into the Celadon department store and pick up a Thunderstone, while promptly evolving Willy into Raichu. I could have grabbed a free Eevee in the mansion, but gathered that it wouldn't be needed really. The Celadon gym is by far the easiest gym so far, as I've got both a level 40 Charizard and a level 45 Pidgeot. Erica hands over the Rainbow Badge and Giga Drain in defeat and wishes us well on our journey. Fourth save point, 56 hours, 20 minutes. So, halfway through the gyms. I return to just south of Cerulean and chuck Susan in the daycare for a while until she's level 100. Then, after that long and boring bike ride is over, I can proceed back to Celadon and enter the game corner. Gamble responsibly, know when to stop. Inside, everyone is always at the same pokey, no matter what the time is, and I think that everyone in Celadon City is addicted to gambling. I destroy the grunt non-stop staring at the same poster, who then just straight up tells me how to get into the hideout. Giovanni is hiring literal bots now. Moving into the Rocket hideout, I basically speedrun past all the grunts until B4F, where there are a couple of uneventful battles before I battle the head of Team Rocket, Giovanni. His Onix and Rhyhorn prove to be easy work for Susan, but the Kangaskhan is the problem. It knows Fake Out. His Kangaskhan is the reason that Susan is now level 100.
I had to ensure that quick attack would OHKO, and since it has really high defenses, it was an issue. With Giovanni out of the way, I grab the Silph Scope and swiftly leave the building. Next up is the spooky Pokemon Tower, which is filled to the brim with Ghost-type Pokemon. Datho challenges me to a battle on the second floor. I really don't know what he's been doing for the last 9 years since I fought him, because his Pokemon are once again barely higher than they were before. Susan quickly swats them aside with her quick attack. A few boring battles later, I reach the top floor of the tower where Mr. Fuji is just hanging with some ghosts. He teleports both us back to his house and gives me the Pokeflute, totally oblivious to the fact that I actually need it to beat the game. After Lavender Town, I head over to Saffron City, home of the Psychic Gym and its leader, Sabrina. But first, I must take down Giovanni again, who has taken over the Silph Co. After wandering around for a while, I finally make it to some random room where once again Datho is just waiting for me. But this time, his Pokemon's levels have skyrocketed. I honestly think that he heard me bad-mouthing him, so he just decided to use 15 rare candies on each of his Pokemon. Thankfully, Susan can just sweep his team with quick attacks and aerial aces. The bloke just watching us fight then hands me a Lapras, which I named Nessie. Original, right? And I teleport up to face off against Giovanni yet again. And just like with Datho, he's decided to rare candy his Mons too. First up is Nidorino, which a simple aerial ace should suffice. No! Poison point. And I can't switch because Susan is the only one who can OHKO everything. Oh no. I totally forgot. And that's the first reset since the first rival battle. Ah, there goes the dream. Oh well. Happens, I guess. The solution I come up with is Secret Power. Secret Power is a 70 power normal type move that Susan can learn, but most importantly, it doesn't make contact, so I won't get poisoned again. I make it back to the Giovanni fight, and this time use Secret Power against Nidorino, Rhyhorn, and Nidoqueen to ensure no more poisoning can occur. Then a simple quick attack to finish off the Kangaskhan. Done. So much longer than it should have taken, and a complete lapse of judgment by me. I yoink the President's Master Ball and run out as quickly as I can. Now it's time to face Sabrina at the gym. Her Kadabra, Mr. Mime, and Alakazam all go down to Susan's Secret Power, and then Aerial Ace on the Venomoth to get the Marsh Badge. 5 down, 3 to go. 5th save point, 85 hours and 33 minutes in. After destroying Sabrina's dreams, I head west to yoink Fly from some lady. Susan can fly now, yay! Then I ignore the cycling road completely and head as far east as possible. I then head south and west again, waking up Snorlax, grabbing a Super Rod, and avoiding about 50 trainers, finally arriving in Fuchsia City. Fuchsia City, home of the Poison Gym and its leader, Koga, which is exactly where I'm headed now. After skirting around the gym and dodging invisible walls and trainers, it's time to fight. Yeah, Susan's Secret Powers everyone and I win. Easy. Koga gives me the Soul Badge and I make the 6th save. 85 hours and 52 minutes. North of the gym is the Safari Zone. I pay 500 Poke to enter, use a couple repels, and yeet along to the end, grabbing some moist golden teeth, grabbing Surf for some rando and teaching it to Nessie. I then give the teeth to an old fella and he gives me strength, which I also teach to Nessie. Going south from Fuchsia, I run into the ocean and start riding on Nessie's back. Dodging all the trainers, I make it to the Seafoam Islands, which to be honest is a really annoying place. That being said, I think all places where HMs are required are annoying. At the very bottom of the islands, I surf over to a random platform and catch Articuno with the Master Ball and name it Adeli. After exiting the islands, I head west to Cinnabar Island, home of the Fire Gym, and its leader, Blaine. For some reason, Blaine has locked himself inside the gym and won't let anyone in, so I head off to the Pokemon Mansion and steal the key. Now that I can enter the gym, I simply answer all the quiz questions right and laugh as the trainers are denied a battle they so desperately crave. Adeli needs to level up a tad, so I use 5 of my 7 rare candies on her and begin the battle. Because Growlithe and Arcanine both have Intimidate, I use Adeli against Growlithe, and then Susan against Ponyta, Rapidash, and Arcanine. Another relatively easy fight. Blaine gives me the Volcano Badge, which is quite fitting as his island may explode soon, and I make the 7th save point. 86.5 hours in. Back now to Viridian City, home of the Ground Gym, and its leader, Giovanni. This is the first battle in a long time where Susan isn't used. Adeli uses Water Pulse on the Rhyhorns, and then Ice Beam on the Dug Trio, Nidoqueen Queen, and Nidoking King. Thus concludes the gym challenges, and means next I'm off to the Indigo League. He gives me the Earth Badge, officially disbands Team Rocket, till about 3 years from now, and I make the final save point, 86 hours and 53 minutes in. After ruining Giovanni's life, I fly back to Lavender Town and catch a Haunter named Blinky. I chuck her in the daycare until she's level 98 and then spend a little while getting her to max special attack EVs. With Blinky now at level 100 also, and possessing a rather good moveset, I'm finally ready for the home stretch. Heading west from Viridian, I battle Datho, who is also on his way to the Indigo League. His team is actually quite strong now, which is also good, because maybe he'll actually do well against the Elite Four then. His Pidgeot still knows Quick Attack, so I chuck in Blinky as it doesn't affect her. A simple Thunderbolt takes Pidgeot down. Then using Water Pulse on Rhyhorn, Flamethrower on Execute, and Secret Power on Growlithe, Alakazam, and Blastoise, I crush Datho's dreams yet again. Still calling me smelly, he trots off towards the Indigo League. The Elite Four. First up is the Ice Trainer, Lorelei. Because of Blinky's diverse moveset, she's able to sweep using Thunderbolt on Dugong, Cloyster, Slowbro, and Lapras, and then using Shadow Ball on Jinx. Nice. 1 down, 3 to go. Secondly is Bruno, the Fighting Trainer. Blinky uses Giga Drain on the Onyxes and Psychic on Hitmonchan, Hitmonlee, and Machamp. This is going really well. Next up is Agatha, the Ghost Trainer. And if you know anything about type matchups, this should be the easiest one. Blinky uses Thunderbolt on Golbat, and then Psychic on a Haunter, Arbok, and both Gengars. At this point, I'm genuinely more concerned about running out of PP than getting hit. Lastly is Lance, the Dragon Tamer. Blinky, as always, goes out first, using Thunderbolt on the Gyarados and the Aerodactyl. Lance's final 3 though are too much for Blinky, and Adeli steps in to Ice Beam them all. Blinky was so close to sweeping the entire Elite Four, but stumbled at the final hurdle. Never mind that, well, I'm on to the champion. It seems Datho managed to beat the Elite Four roughly about an hour before I did, so the final battle of the challenge is against him. First up is Pidgeot, who has finally forgotten Quick Attack, but it doesn't matter. Blinky still Thunderbolts it. Alakazam is sent in next, and a Shadow Ball quickly sends it back. Arcanine and Blastoise are both Thunderbolted back to Datho. Executor is next, and Susan comes in to Aerial Ace it down. Finally, Rhydon is sent out. A swift Giga Drain from Blinky ends off the challenge and confirms that yes, you can beat Pokemon FireRed without ever taking damage. 127 hours, 46 minutes, 19 resets, and a hell of a lot of time of planning as well. I want to thank you so much for watching this far. I really appreciate it. I plan to do damageless runs of every main series game, so I look forward to seeing you next time. Don't forget to like if you enjoyed, as a lot of time went into this. Subscribe if you are new as well. Oh, and if you want to come say hi, I stream Monday, Wednesday, and Friday when it permits at Amloff1 on Twitch. I hope to see you there. But for now, this is the end. I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next one. Enjoy the rest of your day.